Sevarog. He somehow lost his way from Lord of the Rings and found himself in Paragon, so let's show you what he's capable of in this gameplay. Fun fact, when Sefi grows up, I think he wants to be a baseball player. Yeah, look at that. Hey, I'm glad you like that, Sefi. At least someone thinks I'm funny. Being that I've already gone over his abilities and the potential of them in a previous Sevarog video, I'm only going to very quickly explain them, but for a full explanation, check out the other video. First up, Siphon, a short-range giant green claw that crushes people to death, land a killing blow with it, and Sevarog will get stronger. Second, Phantom Rush, sprint forward all creepy and pass through units like a ghost. Third, Subjugate, long-range AoE snare, and then slow, it's super strong and hella fun. Finally, Colossal Blow, his ultimate ability, swing your hammer like a baseball bat and send enemies flying. That's a home run, boys. So, I do actually know that a lot of people are wondering, what's his challenger skin look like? Well, it's in-game, the challenger button, so if you have a look here, look at that. That is just terrible. If you look at the weapon, you can see that there's no texture on it at all. And this is actually a bug that we've seen in OT 9 and 10, where no clay, it's like a clay character, there's no like texture on him. I don't think that's the finished skin, so I would say his skin's not in game right now. But let's hop in game, and look at that beautiful, sexy beginning animation. It's so very nice. Anyway, let's begin buying items. Now, I like to start with Health Potion, Mana Potion, and Harvester's Key, because it's a reliable, sort of safe thing to do, you know, a good thing to do. Have a listen, by the way, when he moves, listen to the sound effect of him moving in travel form. It's like these weird, like, ghosts that are, like, I don't know, playing or something. It's kind of consistently there whenever you're doing travel mode, and it's weirdly, I don't know, calming. Maybe I'm crazy, ghosts calm me or something. But we're heading over to red buff. You know, your usual beginning. You know, you get red buff, you get the XP and all that. Now, when deciding to invade or not the enemy team, it's important to check whether you know or recognize any of the enemy team players, see if they're good players, recognize a 5-stack, or, you know, maybe see if there's anyone in the lane. We saw someone was in lane, so we thought it was kind of safe, and we ended up catching this Sparrow out. Not much to say about it. She was completely out of position, way too far up. If she was waiting, she should have waited in the pad, and it doesn't look like anyone's here at their red buff, so honestly, not really sure what the Sparrow was thinking and why she was there, but it was an easy beginning kill for us. We give Kalari the red buff. We could have given it to Murdoch. I don't really know whether this guy needs the first red buff, but we go straight to gank the Murdoch in mid, and a clever positioning with the Subjugate, lands the snare, lands the slow, and he is absolutely unbelievably dead because we have this amount of people sort of in the lane and, you know, ganking him, so he wasn't really going to get out. And then we go straight back to our red buff and begin taking it. Now, generally, the buffs gives way too much experience, especially when there's so many people there. It still gives that many, like, tons of experience. So it's worth doing every time, you know, to make sure you get red buff, blue buffs, and things like that. For the experience alone, irrelevant of how great the buff is. Anyway, now that we've in this position, we've got 6 card points, and we're coming up for a gank. There's that Sparrow again. Careful positioning of the Subgate. Gets us the snare, gets the slow, and she's, like, not even, like, aware of us hitting her. Basically, the reason I'm showing you this gameplay right now is to show you how powerful of a roamer this character is. Because of his really long-range, powerful snare that you just saw me use, and his great ability to consistently clean waves, he's a really good roamer. Now, why it's so powerful and important to be a roamer on this character is because you want to be where there's creep that you can kill with your Q to make yourself more powerful. And as you can see, he can kill people completely alone without really any issue. That guy had how many traps? And it didn't stop me. It did not even remotely stop me. It's so great. But unfortunately in this game, at the 15-minute mark, roughly 5-6 seconds after 15 minutes, boom, they surrendered. And yeah, it was just a good roaming game, really. So I just moved straight into the next game, and we're going to have a full, proper game in this one, not just like a weird 3-minute thing. And so let's begin with builds. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be wondering, how the hell am I going to build Sevarog? Is he better as a tank? Is he better to be built lifesteal? Is he better to be built as, like, I don't know, like I was saying, a roam ganker, so you build damage, or bruiser, like a bruiser tank? Personally, I don't know. I've not had time to test. It's day 1, guys. But let me tell you this. He's amazing when you build him as a bruiser, like all of the fucking tanks. My current build for Sevarog begins with an Adamant Edge, and I fill it with Strike. This gives me a bit of health and lots of attack damage, and then follow that up with a Windcarver Blade. And you've got yourself something special and fast. Good attack damage and attack speed. You can fill the Windcarver with kinetics or more strikes, depending on what you like. From this point, you'll need to decide if you need to build more tanky or keep going with that sweet damage. This is when I usually get a bit of crit and more strikes on a spear of Rift Hunter, and follow that up with another spear for even more crit and damage. And then, twisting the nail in the coffin, this is a perfect time for the Black Blood Virus. I get great lifesteal from this, fill it with lifesteal, and it makes my crits hit 50% harder. At this point, I'm a serious threat, I'm hard to kill, hard to escape, and I have a lot of damage. And for your final 6th item, I guess it doesn't really hurt to have some damage resistance. However you want it, depending on the game, you might want armor, barriers, or even life regen. Again, it depends on the game. The next time I cover Sevarog, I'm probably going to know a lot more and have tested pretty much all of the builds, and I'll give you the certain answer really at that point. But for now, I find this build really powerful. So let's hop into the full game. Let's actually have a full game, shall we? So we're beginning with red buff. We think that maybe it's not the safest to invade theirs, so we take our red buff. Great XP for us, and then we move straight over to blue buff. Again, because we don't think we can invade, we take our own. Now, actually, we'd give Muriel the blue buff in this situation, but now thinking about it, I actually think Sevarog should have the blue over Muriel if he's in a solo lane, because he's going to be using his Q to siphon souls and basically increase his power. He's going to be spamming his mana, he's going to need the mana regen and the cooldown reduction. And so I think it might actually be arguably better on Sevarog, depending on whether he's in a solo lane. Now, in this situation, I find myself in a solo lane, and I just wanted to say, use the Q to get a single last hit. Come on, you could do it. There it is. To empower yourself if you have to. You know, it feels great to hit 2 or 3 at once, and it's way more efficient on your mana and all that, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get 3, especially early level, especially at level 1 Q. Try and just make sure you get at least 1 minion every cooldown with the Q, and you'll slowly become more powerful early game. It's just the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Anyway, this guy is capable of soloing because of his escape, his AoE stun, long range capability. There we go, got 2 there, that was nice. But I would say he's also just an amazing jungler. You know, he's said to be a tank who can jungle, and I would say that he's definitely good in jungle, and I would put him in jungle if I had to. Check out the sexy recall animation, by the way. Like, holy shit, that's one of the nicest looking recall animations in the game. Like, Gideon's is really nice, but that actually might be my favorite now. There's the Adamant Edge. We're just going to put a major strike in it, just like I was explaining earlier. But yeah, I would say great jungler, great solo lane, and I would say he's actually great in every role. Think about it. He's an amazing roamer. He's an amazing jungler. He could solo lane, and he can duo great because he has some okay damage with his abilities and amazing CC. You know, he could lane with a Twin Blast, Sparrow, Murdoch, even with his own support. But probably the carry or like a caster, it's way better. I would say this guy could really go in any role, and it's just like fucking amazing. Don't forget that we are talking about him in the Bruiser role. Who knows what he can really do in the tank? I've still yet to test that, so who knows? Look out for that in the future. Anyway, every single time that the lane pushes up, in my solo lane, what I'm doing is I'm going into the jungle and claiming some of these basic camps and just siphoning their souls. And it's roughly on the same timer that the harvest is kind of full, so grabbing that while I'm doing that. And also, I believe blue's coming up shortly, so I should probably grab that, which I think I did. And then we get some more whites, and then it looks like their lane's being pushed up a little bit. Yeah, there it is. You see how blue buff's just come up. So we're actually going to claim the buff, the XP from the buff, because he can jungle so well. We're siphoning tons of souls, and now my lane is being pushed up. And in the time where I could have just been stood there in a dangerous spot where people could come gank me because I'd be too far up, I left, did a bit of jungling, got a bit stronger, got a buff, and then came back, and now we're hitting 2 or 3 in every soul suck ability, and it's pretty fucking good. Every time I get the opportunity, I collect the harvester, and we go back, and using the card points that we've gained, we're going to go ahead and finish up this Adamant Edge with 2 more major strikes. So we have 3 major strikes in my weapon, and at this stage, I'm now kind of threatening. My damage is now there. Check this out. I come up behind him, she's so out of position, and I miss. Let's watch that again. I saw the animation literally touch her. What actually happened is basically, can we get her? We can get her. Basically what happened is I didn't learn how the ability worked yet. You know, it was like one of my first games, this. So if I'd waited a little bit longer there, I would have hit her. I just thought that because the animation actually collided with her, it would hit her. No, you have to aim it with the actual like cone thing on the ground. You can't really rely on the swing of the hammer to indicate when you're going to hit or not. So don't make the same mistake as me. How fucking sick would that have been if I'd knocked it into the tower? She was alone, out of position. I had people with me. She'd be dead really quick. But at the end of the day, she died, and so did her teammate. So it's okay. Also, this guy's actually pretty good at killing harvesters. Even though I've only got one item right now, I'm actually able to do a nice amount of damage to it, and we've nearly got it. The rampage is coming in. I'm kind of far out of position, and I'm scared, but I've got a Muriel on my team. So we finish the harvester. We got to escape. I jump away. He's going to jump forward, and I know that. So I put the subjugate, the snare, on top of myself and just walk away, and he has to walk on it to keep up with me. I get away. We're scot-free. Nope. His teammates here. This is where it gets scary. Thankfully, my Muriel's here, and I see free. I'm ready. I'm ready. Home run, baby. Free in one ult. That's satisfying. Kalari comes in. We just snare her and slow her. I zip away. My Muriel panics and sort of ults me to try and save me, but she wasn't aware my right click was off cooldown. Obviously, we weren't on comms, so, you know, it was probably a really good choice for her, being that she didn't know I had the zip off cooldown. It would have saved me if I didn't have that zip away. But thanks to Phantom Rush, I'm so hard to keep down. Like, we had how many on us there? 4 people, and I just walked away like it wasn't a big deal. And again, look at the range of the Q. They're all low, and I could have really claimed a lot of souls there. But because the Q's range is so slow, I had to do it in like little 3x3s. So we actually got 6 there, which is good, but it's still slow. But as I get more powerful, I level up, the Q gets stronger. We get 4 in one now. It's getting good. And farming is such an important part of this character because of how strong he gets when you land these siphons, and the longer the game goes on, the stronger your character gets. I hear a rampage in our jungle, I'm like, hell no, you ain't doing that, son. I'm gonna take some of them souls, hit him in the same time, snare him. He can't really fight me. Look at how little health I'm losing. He realizes and tries to run away. He's out of position in our jungle, my team are here, and he blasts the ult to try and survive. Now, he shouldn't really be able to get away. We have a Muriel slowing him, and we're coming in. I have my snare again. My teammate has his slow. There's the snare, perfectly positioned behind him. He walks right into it. He's really hurt. I use the ult to knock him away from his tower so he can't jump to safety. He is slowed again. He jumps. We should get him here. Look how low he is. I hit the Q. Come on, hit the Q. Hit the Q. I can't believe he got away. I can't believe he fucking got away. The enemy, Sevarog, is here. I land the snare, try and help my team. He knocks someone into the tower. It was Muriel. She ults out, and it looks kind of okay. We're fine. They're a little bit hurt. They're behind the tower. Maybe I can go around and sneak a kill. I'm going to try exactly that. Praying that he doesn't see me, but unfortunately he does. But I land the snare anyway, positioning it cleverly behind, sort of like right on him, basically. He's pretty fucking hurt, but I'm fully blocked by this rampage, and I'm praying someone will just finish him. He gets shielded up like hell by his own shield and by the enemy Muriel, and then we managed to just snag the Sevarog. I'm actually quite low. It's getting dangerous now, and there's a lot of minions on me. I've got a shield from my Muriel, so I know I'm okay, and I just go ahead and siphon some more souls, get rid of that creep wave, and pull back a little bit. Enemy Kalari next to me, I can hear her. Hit her once, hit her twice. It was really good that I managed to hit her because she's lower now, and there she is. She just came out of stealth. She missed her E, she's jumped. I'm trying to land the snare where I think she's going to land off her jump. I don't really know where she landed, but I thought that was really like clever positioning by my snare there, but apparently it missed her, so who knows where she went. Anyway, I went and got Prime Harvester, the right Harvester, and went back. We go ahead and get ourselves a spear and put some major wound in it. We're starting to build that crit and still more damage on everything we have. Now check out how fucking awesome my AoE and creep wave clear potential. Oh, that's so satisfying. Holy shit, that was so much experience and one like swift motion, and a lot of souls just gathered. Oh, we just caught someone off guard here. They're following my teammate. Hey, free XP, no problem. We're actually right behind them. I'm telling my teammates, let's attack, let's attack. Somehow they don't know. We walk right by a ward there. They should know I'm behind them, but they've not noticed because they don't look at their minimap. And this Sevarog's so out of position now. My team are coming in. I catch him off guard. We hit one snare. We hit the second snare, and now he's very low. Muriel comes in with the ult. Knocks me up. I'm CC'd. That's annoying. It's alright. What can you do? Nothing. I'm Sevarog. I'm coming forward. We're hitting them both. I'm thinking about an ult. I get ulted away. That's really annoying. Fucking, I'm not allowed to hit them, apparently. We go up and try and flank them. It works perfectly. We actually land a snare here, put down our own snare, another snare. Look how low she is. She's struggling. I missed my Q. Fun fact, it actually missed her because she was lower than me, so be aware that if someone's too high or too low, your Q is not going to hit them. Really interesting mechanic, kind of a weakness about the character. Anyway, we happen to get black buff. I take it because I'm doing the most damage on the team, and we start pushing right lane. Let's do it. Using my communication little thing, you press C and you sort of choose what you want to say. Look at this creep wave clear. Oh, so good. It's all gone. Look at that XP. Oh, 1,200. Are you kidding me? That's so much. Oh, man. But yeah, I've got the black buff. I've got the most damage on the team, so we're going to go ahead and push right. And I'm using that communication tool, the C, like push right, good job, retreat, things like that, you know. It really helps when you're not on comms with people to be using that, so I really recommend it. Anyway, we take that tower like it was nothing, and we're thinking about taking an inhib, but they're all missing, and they're all alive. They're all going to be there, and I think, hang on, it's time to go back, and why not just take the enemy's red buff while we're here? I don't mind it. I'll take it, as much as it wants to dodge me. There we go. And looking at the map, we could push middle, maybe. Whoa! Enemy rampage, caught him off guard, hit him with a snare, hit my own snare in a second. Oh, it was on cooldown, damn. Alright, we'll pull back. Now, it's careful. We've got to be careful not to over-engage. They happen to go on the Kalari, which is great. Muriel can keep him alive, and, well, Kalari's really hard to catch, so, you know, she's gone. But they actually chased us all the way down mid while I was just farming. So I come through and see what can we do. How can we make them pay for coming so far up? We land the snare on their support, which is good and important, but no one was around to do anything. Our Sparrow's actually pushing left lane at this moment, and she took a tier 2. So that was a really fucking good job by her. And I am warning her now, you should retreat because they're all heading over there. And I don't believe she survives. I think they all come. She's already caught out now. You can see on the minimap, she's already been attacked and they're coming. I try and tell her, you know, they're coming, Sparrow. You're going to die, but I don't think she can really get out. We take blue buff, we have red buff, we have black buff. We've got all these buffs, man. Now we just need prime, dude. Anyway, 9 points to spend. Let's get ourselves a bit of major strike. So we have a bit crit from the major wound, a bit more damage from the major strike. And we go ahead and grab ourselves the sinister crit, which is like, what, 16%, maybe 20% on 1 for 4. It's really good. And we grab ourselves the next spear as well. Heading over to red buff. I actually still have red buff and it's not even halfway through its cooldown. And I'm thinking, maybe I don't really need this. There's a Kalari nearby, and I tell the Kalari, hey, I've just got red buff, come get it, it's for you. And what do? They come and take it right away. Good job, Ellis. And so, you know, we share the damage potential and increase rather than just take it for myself greedily just to restore a cooldown on my timer that, you know, really wasn't that used up anyway. So worked out very well. Now I did see someone in the right lane and I instantly go into the jungle because I want to catch them off guard and go around. They actually ran straight into the jungle and I'm a bit confused. I'm seeing more people on my minimap and I'm like, this looks bad. Let's pull back. It's just me and Kalari here. And here they are on time. He picks up the rock. Can we dodge it? We do. Oh, that was close. And I see Twitch coming in right here on Feng Mao coming behind it. It's time to re-engage. Landing the nice snare. Enemy Muriel knocks me into the air. This is looking a bit messy. I pull out. I don't want to be in the middle of the center of all that. The Kalari ult. People are low. It's all 5 of them. Muriel comes in. I smash them. We knock them into the air. They're out of position. We're cleaving them up. Sparrow's ulting them. I'm just doing tons of damage and tanking their big Sevarog as well. Looking good, and they surrendered. But I had farmed for so long. I had all the items I needed, man. Fuck you. Well, there you go. There's the final score. They surrendered at 30 minutes. It was sudden. I felt really good about that game. I'd worked so hard to farm up the items I did have. And honestly, I knew that I was going to be absolutely fucking deadly and devastating that game. I was about to start building lifesteal. I could feel it, dude. How fucking powerful I was about to be. I'd earned that right, man. And they took it away from me. Still, even though I had 1 kill, 5 assists, and 0 deaths, and you look at Twitch, who was playing Feng Mao, who had 8 kills, I actually had more points than him and everyone else, thanks to the insane farm potential of this character. Do not squander it. Use it to its maximum potential, guys. I can't recommend it enough. As I mentioned, I do want to do another video on this guy when I understand the build and the way that he works a little bit better, and show you some sick stuff that he can actually do in the future. So do let me know if you want to see more Sevarog right away, or maybe you want to see a different hero. As always, just let me know, who should I play next in the next gameplay guide video, because, knowing your opinion, knowing what you want to see, really helps. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It always really helps me. me and you can share the video with anyone who might be interested. That also really helps. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you next time in more Paragon.